Good evening, gentlemen. You can see me a tiny bit here because of those bright headlights behind me. That's nice. Anyway, I'm going to talk today a little bit about a subject that has, it comes up a lot in this whole sphere of thought. The kind of people who are into, or getting into no porn and no fap and even godly masculinity and stuff like that, or just godliness in general, or masculinity in general, whatever. In these kinds of communities, this topic comes up a lot, and I've mentioned it before. I gave it like a very, very brief passing mention once before in another video, and I have also written about it a little bit anonymously on the internet. But the question basically is, how do you get a girlfriend, or where do you find women who aren't garbage, or some form of that kind of question, something along those lines. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm not going to answer that directly, and that I'm not the dating or relationship expert. I'm not an expert on women or anything like that. Instead, I will give you something else to consider first, before you even think about dating or courting or marriage or where, whichever way you want to put it. Are you, right now, the kind of man that you would want your daughter or sister even to date or marry or be courted by? I'm just going to say date for the sake of simplicity, but are you the kind of man that you would be proud to have your daughter dating? And most of the time when I ask that to the people who bring this up, they're like, I see your point. Because that is, that is an important consideration. And before you even think about, how am I going to get a girlfriend, or where am I going to find a girlfriend, you've got to make sure that you are leading the kind of life that is, I almost don't want to say worthy of that, but whatever, we'll use the word worthy. Are you living the kind of life that is worthy of that? Are you living the kind of life that is going to, be worthy of the kind of women that you want to attract? So first of all, let's just go ahead and make it clear here. Most women nowadays, modern women at least, in any kind of culture that I'm familiar with, are garbage. And it's the same way both ways, with men and women. But we're talking about women right now for once in one of my videos. Most women are not by any stretch relationship material, and you want nothing to do with them. That said, there are virtuous women out there, and in order to attract that kind of woman, you have to have your own self together. All right? There's so many guys wondering, where are all the good women? And women wonder the same thing too, but so many guys wondering, where are all the good women at? And where, why are women garbage nowadays? And they themselves don't even have it together. It's like, well, you're seeing the people who reflect how you are for the most part. Like, all women are sluts and stuff like that. Well, when was the last time you watched porn? Are you really so much different? And yeah, I won't say that watching porn is the same thing as going out and having sex, but even so, you see where I'm going with this. You see that you can't expect some woman to come along and save you or something, or to, or to be the better person in the relationship, and, just deal with all your flaws and all that. Obviously you're going to have flaws no matter what. I don't mean like becoming perfect or anything by any means, but, the kind of woman that you want to attract probably isn't going to be attracted by the guy who's just in a totally different caliber. He's nowhere near the kind of man that he should be. You want to attract a woman of God? Guess what? You've got to be a man of God. Okay? That's how it goes. So, are you the kind of man that you would want your daughter to marry? Ask yourself that question very honestly. Take a good look at your life and get that squared away first. Okay? Because this is a big deal. This isn't, and I hate how we've trivialized dating and everything nowadays, like it's almost meaningless. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. Having a relationship, sharing your life with somebody else is definitely a big deal. And considering people like me, presumably most Bible or any Bible believing Christian does not believe that divorce is an option in almost any circumstances, and also believes that marriage is good and necessary, for a relationship, that kind of romantic relationship. It's a big deal who you pick and who you invest your life in and with. So take it seriously, prepare yourself for that. Be ready for that. Be ready to become the kind of man who is going to be the right man for that kind of woman. All right? You want a woman of God, be a man of God. You want a good woman, be a good man. You want a woman who isn't, going around sleeping with other dudes. Stop watching pornography, okay? It's all the same category there. And if you're complaining about sluts and stuff like that, and you're a guy who goes around sleeping with random women, guess what? You're part of the problem there too. These sluts are sleeping with somebody, and if you're one of those somebodies, then hey, guess what? That's on you too. And I really think that this whole degradation of society and sex and everything is, where we're at right now is definitely the fault of both sexes. But I think that, ultimately males are the leaders in both the family and in civilization, and that we have largely started this snowball rolling, and it's our responsibility. It was our fault in starting it, and I think that it is generally up to us to lead the way out of it. It's not all our fault, obviously. Women are responsible for their own decisions and choices, even the bad ones, but this is definitely something where we should be taking the initiative and cleaning up our own lives and becoming that kind of man, that kind of husband and father that we want the future of our society to be built on. And I believe that as men start raising their own standard, and they start raising the standard by which they judge and value women, and they stop putting up with sluts and low-value women who don't have standards for themselves, that fewer women will take that route in life because there's nothing there for them. All right, so there's just more thoughts on that whole train of thought. That's not the point of this video, and I'll do another part on here just because this one has already run on long enough. There's one more thing I want to say about this, and so I will make a video about that specifically. It's related, but that'll be part 2. Anyway, so the point here, just in closing, I've already said it, I'll say it again just to recap. Are you the kind of man who you would want your daughter to marry? If not, get it together. If so, keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep living virtuously. Be that strong man, okay? Do the right thing. And for the most part, I think the guys who are in the right place, who have their lives together, aren't really obsessing too much or worrying. I'll say worrying. Aren't worrying too much about, where are the girls at? Where are the white women at? where are all these virtuous, good Christian girls at? Or, when am I going to find my wife? All that kind of stuff. I don't see a lot of that in the guys who really have it together. And I may go into reasons for that later. But anyway, that's it for now. Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy. I'll talk to you later. Stay tuned for part 2 of this. Probably in the next couple days or so. I'll see y'all.